Agooo, Agooo, Nuapa, listen. Nananom say, when your higher spirit speaks to you, you better listen. Listen. Okay, what do I mean? As you're going through your life, you're going through your path, you're doing things, you're saying things, you're being ways and doing all these things. There will be moments when your being will communicate to you in a way that will get your attention. It might look like this. Okay, you might have a situation, an encounter that triggers something deep within you, that brings out a strong emotional reaction, or say a strong emotional feeling within you. So it might be a feeling that'll come and shake you off your core for like a millisecond or a second or 2 seconds or a minute or several minutes. Depending on where your journey is in your Ahooto journey, it might shake you off your core for like days or even weeks. Okay. So when that happens, it is shaking you to give you a message, right? And what you do with that is on you, right? What you do with that, you might do several different things, and all of that is fine because that is the journey. But you don't stay there, okay? You might do things like, somebody said something to you. It brought out something in you that made you you're in your mind and in your head, and you're thinking all these awful things about the person, or you're thinking of comebacks, like you're revisiting conversations and playing it over and over and over in your head, trying to imagine what could have been best. What can you say to have saved your ego and to have saved your emotions and to have made you feel like you are in charge, that you have not lost? You would just keep going, right? Keep going and going and going. But the essence of that message is not necessarily you digging into this negativity hole, right? That is the negativity hole that you go into. That is the trigger, right? It's like to shake you, but then you come back. You come back and then you step back and you look at the situation to see, what is this? What is this supposed to teach you? Sometimes the message is exactly what it is. Whatever it is that you heard is what it is, or what you're supposed to work with, right? A lot of times, though, it's not. A lot of times, it's not even a person. It's just like the person is not it, right? But whatever it was that was the person embodied whatever that created all that turmoil and something, all that shaking that your spirit just brought to you. So what I'm saying is, right, the message is, when you get those moments, after you've gone through your processing stage of digging in and getting into down and out, or whatever it is that you do with those things, right? When you start coming into the realization and awareness that, okay, well, you're facing yourself. Okay, first of all, you're facing yourself, because if you're not willing to face yourself, right, then this is useless to you. You're not going to be able to do any of this because you're not telling the truth to yourself. You're lying to yourself, and this is not going to help you. But the point is, you are digging into yourself. You want to go into the depths of you, and you want to bring out the power that's within you. And so you are facing yourself, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it is. And so after you've seen yourself and you've seen that, okay, I'm digging into this, emotional rabbit hole and doing all these things. Okay, I've done it, whatever. Now I'm stepping back. and I'm trying to look at this situation and trying to see, okay, what are you trying to tell me? What is this? What is the message here? Right? What is the message here? And be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what is the message here? And you want to dig into the feeling that came with it. So you can start there. Like, okay, what was the feeling that came up when you heard that thing, or when you saw that thing, or whatever? Start there, like feeling. What was the feeling? Was it anger? Was it, what was it? And say, and ask yourself, why was it that specific feeling, right? What about what happened brought you that specific feeling? Because it's in there, right? And then you dig into that, right? Like, what? Okay, why does this specific thing bring me this specific feeling, right? And then it just take just your beautiful busy brain, it'll just take you down the path where you will be able to pull in these different things that you need to see. And then eventually, and it might not happen that day, it might happen that day, it might happen that second, it might happen a minute, an hour, a few days, a few weeks. But the point is, you dig in, and then eventually you will see what the message is. Because depending on where you are in your journey, it might even take you weeks. Okay, it might take you weeks. Sometimes it might take you months, depending on how heavy the message is, how much this message is supposed to bring you, what it's supposed to bring you. And whatever it is, if you're not looking at it the wrong way, if you're not looking at it the way that is helpful for you, it's going to bring you even more distress, right? If you're looking at it and blaming people and operating from a state of fear, which I know you are. I mean, we all feel those things, but then if we're able to confront them and say, hey, this is operating from fear, this is operating from whatever, it's not operating from honesty for self and whatever. Then after you've gone through all of that and forgiving yourself and not blaming yourself, because you are that way, we all are that way, we go through all of it, but then you get over it, or you get through it, depending on the level of ahooto that you have, and then you move towards what it is that you're supposed to learn from the message that comes to you. So it might it might come to you like that. It might come to you excuse me, it might come to you from that perspective where you have deep emotions that you need to dig in, or it might come to you in a profound whatever, like the emotions might be positive or negative, or it might come to you in getting you to do some things that are out of character, which is all, but the basis really is emotions. It really is. Like, you will be triggered through emotions. A lot of times the messages are going to come to you through emotions. Other times it's inspiration, but a lot of times, because we respond to the negative and the strong emotions better. They stay with us better. They get it into a place where we don't let go. We ruminate over it over and over, because it's supposed to teach us something, and the longer we take to get to it, the longer it stays. And so that's why there are a lot of things that it stays, that we just keep going in deep and over and jump up and down and dig in, but because we're not getting through it, because we're not facing it, we're facing other things that's about it, right? We're avoiding it, and there's something within our psyches that's like preventing us from facing it. And when we're able to get through that, then we'll be able to see what it is clearly. So listen to the messages that comes through your spirit. Listen to the message from your high spirit. It's not always fun, but it's there to show you something, and you have the power. You have, oh my goodness, you have so much power. You have the power to make it be what it is, to see it for what it is, and not let it like ride you and let it carry you on this emotional roller coaster, emotional wave forever and ever. You can step back. You have the power. And if you don't feel it, then it means that you need to go on that journey that will bring you that power, that you need to be able to stand in your center and look at the situation and say, this situation makes me feel like ... But I see what it's supposed to teach me. I see what I'm supposed to do about it. I've dealt with the feelings that came with. I've gone through and did the mental masturbation that made me feel good because I came up with these awesome comebacks and whatever. Okay, I've gotten through that. But now here is the real work that I'm going to do. So that's the message, is that you listen to your spirit, because it speaks to you all the freaking time, all the time. And when it shakes you, you know, at some point in your Ahooto like journey, you might come to a point where you don't get a lot of triggering, right? You might go a long time without the triggers. You'll be like, hey, spirit, are you talking to me or not? Right? So, but then when it comes strong, and you're like, oh, I forgot how this felt, and it feels like, you know, it's deep and dark, and you have to figure out a way to deal with it. But anyway, but it could be like you could be on the journey where like all these triggering is coming it's a flood coming through, and it's just, it pisses you off, and you go down these spirals. Know that all those things that you're encountering, and all those things have messages, and there's work that you need to do to navigate around that. Okay, I'm Nananom. Okay, I'm also known as the Ahooto Whisperer. I invite you to join our community of awakening, ancestral awakening. The link is in the description. Okay, Medaase.